Hi there, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm covering episode 17 of Three Body Season 1. In this episode, we're getting down to the real meat of the story when we delve into the mysterious Red Coast base. The episode introduces us to a creative new assassin, Chen Shui, to shake things up, and a mysterious foreigner who's a game changer for the local community. We'll also get a tour of Red Coast from Science Grandma herself, so make sure you stay till the end, because there's plenty to discover. Oh, and let me know if you liked this episode by giving the video a like and leaving your comments below. Trust me, you won't want to miss out. The episode opens with Shi Qiang and Wang Miao badgering a shocked General Chang for classified files on Ye Wenjie, aka Science Grandma. The two are about to chase her and Shen Yufei to Chijiatun, a remote town outside of Hai City. While this revelation could have come at the end of the last episode for a bit more punch, the gratification is delayed. On the train to Hai City, Shen Yufei finds herself hunted by a hitman sent by Pan Han and the Adventist faction. In a twist not from the book, since in the book, she's already dead, she's saved by a bodyguard assassin named Chen Shui, who normally appeared in fluffy romances, sent by the commander. The scene shifts to a busy train, and a Hitchcockian sequence ensues as Chen Shui uses her trained reflexes to save Shen Yufei. They narrowly escape the hitman, leaving viewers tense and on the edges of their seat as they guess what's going to happen next. It's a great addition to the episode and a welcome sight, as Chen Shui and Shen Yufei use amazing reflexes and agility to dodge bullets and the hitman's knives. The two eventually meet the commander, and Wang Miao comes in to discover who she is. Of course, the commander turns out to be none other than Science Grandma herself, Ye Wenjie. Meanwhile, Shi Qiang is still convinced that Science Grandma is the key to solving the three-body problem. He quickly jumps on the chance to hunt her down with Wang Miao and join forces with her to find a solution. They both reluctantly join forces with Science Grandma and head to Red Coast, which is now a receiving station not run by the army, but led by Science Grandma herself. The technicians report they're receiving no signals, but Science Grandma orders the techs to quickly dismantle and remove all the equipment. When Wang Miao arrives, Red Coast is stripped clean and abandoned with no sign its contents already vacated, leaving just Science Grandma standing in the ruins. This reveals the extent of Science Grandma's determinations and makes her a dangerous opponent. There's plenty of suspense and anticipation for the viewers throughout this episode, with the scenes of suspenseful suspense coming off great and feeling natural. It's an amazing watch that can easily draw viewers into a world of mystery and danger. It's definitely an episode you won't want to miss. We soon find Pan Han just sitting in an empty auditorium, appearing a tad bit eerie and suburban due to his preset presence. Initially, it appears he's just occupying himself by enjoying a movie or listening to a podcast. But as the episode progresses, it becomes clear Pan Han is settling in a trance-like state, most likely musing about the three-body problem. Whereas in the book, Pan Han's described as wearing plain second-hand clothing, the show portrays him wearing designer threads and gives him a tech bro facade, allowing him to give a TED Talk about environment conservation. By doing this, it further emphasizes his sinister and eerie personality, as opposed to his invisible traits from the book. Pan Han's mysterious meeting begins when he receives a call from Science Grandma on Shen Yufei's phone. Science Grandma displays a strict motherly-like connection, primitively scolding him to cease his malicious undertakings and order him to meet a man named Evans. The show portrays Science Grandma's cunning and secretive side, turning her who was supposed to be a doting elderly figure into a significant figure akin to Bond villains, leaving Pan Han frightened and dumbfounded by her high authority and knowledge. Meanwhile, Shi Qiang and Wang Miao arrive in Chijiatun 2 steps behind her. First, they find transport police investigating the dead hitman on the train with only a hint that Science Grandma, Shu Yufei, and a mysterious bodyguard were sent by the commander, allowing viewers to further uncover the mysterious components of the plot. Shi Qiang moves on to investigate the red ginseng factor, and finds it to be a sustainable business funded by a foreign investor. This investor is most likely the same man Evans, whom Pan Han needs to meet. The Red Coast base, now a ruin, holds the most pertinent information, as Wang Miao discovers Ye Wenjie, who looks like a ghost haunting the place, and was in charge of the base during its functional period in the 1970s. She reveals the base was a monitoring station that tracked the signals of satellites and enemy spacecrafts, which Science Grandma eventually received an errant signal on the monitors and kick-started the three-body problem. Thus, holding the answers to the unsolved universe's questions, the episode's mystery drives with a bang, making it a must-watch for the season. Pan Han's mysterious meeting is further compounded by his weird behavior occupied in an empty auditorium, causing confusion and myriad questions in the viewer's mind. But further investigation into his traits reveal that he's attending no movie, nor is he listening to a podcast. He's just there sitting while presumably pondering upon the three-body problem. To elaborate, in accordance with the book, Pan Han is seemingly draped in plain second-hand garments, suggesting he neither has a personality nor an identity. But the show belies this, as it portrays Pan Han wearing designer threads and given an affluent, tech bro demeanor, in order to guilt-trip the viewers into a conscious thought of environment conservation. This transformation of his character portrays him more sinister and creepy as compared to his almost non-existent existence in the book. But Pan Han's mysterious meeting begins to take shape when he's presented a call from Science Grandma on Shen Yufei's phone. And in an unexpectedly authoritative and decisive voice, Science Grandma calls for a meeting with a man named Evans. The scene is peculiarly reminiscent of a movie or novel filled with Bond villains, and it's not surprising that Science Grandma's emergent role filled with such superiority intimidates and frightens the character of Pan Han, leaving the viewer with a lingering sense of the unknown. Science Grandma's presentation of an authoritative and decisive mom who orders children that are fighting to stop further animates the villainous narrative, as it becomes apparent that Science Grandma is executing an intricate mise-en-scene that is exceptionally woven in orchestration and planning. For just as abruptly as this command for a meeting with Evans appears, Science Grandma disappears into oblivion. In the process, a stream of previously irrelevant events and people, bundled together with the newly introduced character of Evans, form an understanding, one that hints at Science Grandma's omniscience and her comprehension of the three-body problem. The supporting characters of Wang Miao and Shi Qiang also make their way to Qijiantun, 2 steps behind Science Grandma. Just as they arrive, they coincidentally stumble upon a dead hitman on the train en route to High City, ambiguously hinting that Science Grandma and Shen Yufei may have been involved in the killing. Shi Qiang sets out to investigate a red ginseng factor, which surprisingly was receiving support from a foreign investor as part of a sustainable business plan. Concurrently, Wang Miao makes his way to Red Coast, a remote observatory that operated during the peak of the Cold War and potentially holds the answers to the three-body problem. Eventually, Wang Miao and Shi Qiang come to a realization that the equipment and monitors of Red Coast have all been stripped and removed, and what remains is the view of Ye Wenjie in the ruins, giving of an eerie presence of a ghostly figure. Moreover, the existence of a white guy, purportedly helpful in planting trees who, perhaps without him knowing, is bankrolling the red ginseng factor and a lot more, further confirms the notion that Evan could be this mysterious individual. The question then lingers whether Pan Han, with his good-looking exterior and scholarly behavior, could be on board with a plan to disrupt Science Grandma's dreams to acquire the answers to the three-body problem, unknowingly in the company or the iconic Grandma. Shi Qiang's investigation into the entity behind the red ginseng factory revealed a foreign investor had been bankrolling the operation as part of a sustainable business plan. An unexpected bonus to this endeavor was the addition of a mysterious white guy, who had even lent a hand in planting trees. It wasn't long before Shi Qiang and Wang Miao, now reunited, came to the realization that this mysterious wealthy investor might just be the same one Science Grandma had mentioned on the phone, this Evans. But was he an accomplice of Science Grandma's? A benefactor? An enemy? The duo's investigation upon arrival to Red Coast would provide some answers. The observatory that had once operated during the Cold War peak was now a stark ruin, its equipment and monitors stripped and removed. All that remained was the view of Ye Wenjie in the ruins, a ghostly figure in her own right. Wang Miao, still unaware of Science Grandma's recreation of the observatory and the implications it could have on the three-body problem, was struck by awe as his gaze leveled with hers. It was almost as if she were revisiting ghosts, as if she were a ghost herself. Meanwhile, Pan Han, who dressed in expensive designer clothes, made him seem like a tech bro out of some TED Talk, thus reinforcing his suspicious demeanor, could be seen just sitting in an empty auditorium, completely unaware of Science Grandma's presence on the other side of Qijiantun. All of a sudden, his phone rang and he answered, only to come face to face with the Grandma's commanding voice. The pieces were beginning to come together. Was Science Grandma playing the role of a Bond villain, and turning a local factory into a cover-up of a grand-scale operation? Would Pan Han be a part of it, or would he join forces with Shi Qiang and Wang Miao and lend them a hand in uncovering the grand design of Science Grandma? Ye Wenjie takes Wang Miao back in time, to the day of her own transfer to the monitoring station. The political commissar had deemed her the right fit for a senior top-secret position. The whole thing had been a surprise, even to her, although her colleague and friend Yang Weining had vehemently objected to it, arguing that she should not be sent to the Red Coast base and spend the rest of her life there. Yet, despite her seemingly peaceful and quiet life, it was at Red Coast base where the three-body problem would truly begin. Back at the present day, the duo of Shi Qiang and Wang Miao take in their surroundings, their investigation leading them to the now abandoned Red Coast Observatory. Ye Wenjie reveals to Wang Miao that she was the one who had decrypted and identified the strange errant signals that had been detected at the base. It was her work that had eventually caused her to be transferred out of the department. Wang Miao is stunned. He looks around in awe, realizing that Ye Wenjie had recreated the same monitoring station she had once worked in, right here in this remote town, the place where she had received her very first errant signal, and thus initiated the whole three-body problem. He takes it all in and wonders, just what part would Science Grandma play in the epic story that was unfolding? Museum-like, they tour the ruins of the observatory, both of them feeling the ghosts of the past lingering around them. The implementation of the technology, the elusiveness of the errant signals, and the bravery of Science Grandma as she had defied political commissar's orders and kept the facility running had all led to reveal answers to a riddle that had been around for centuries. The three-body problem. In the dusk of the evening, Wang Miao and Ye Wenjie look into the horizon, waiting for the answers from the universe that are just around the corner waiting to be unveiled. Was the answer to the fundamental questions of the universe something that could be calculated or something that could be understood? The answer, for now, lingers in the shadows of Red Coast, awaiting the courage of these two, who dare to defy the limits and try to unveil the truth. The revelation of the secrets of Red Coast Observatory came at the perfect moment, just at the end of Three Body Season 1, Episode 17. Despite Ye Wenjie and Shi Qiang's efforts, however, the mystery of the three-body problem still remains unsolved. Yet this episode left us with much hope that by following the findings of Science Grandma, they'd be eventually able to get to the bottom of the riddle. It has been a wonderful episode, full of suspense, mystery, and imagination. We have uncovered many of the secrets of Red Coast Observatory and the riddles of the three-body problem. Yet, many questions still remain unanswered. It's time to take a break and prepare for what the next episode holds in store. Until then, pack your bags, buckle up, and follow the trail of Ye Wenjie to explore the mysteries of the three-body problem. But don't just wait until the next episode. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to follow the journey of Shi Qiang and Wang Miao in exploring the secrets of Red Coast Observatory and the three-body problem. It's going to be an awesome ride, so keep up with us. Thanks for watching. Until next time.